Alright, so today's video is gonna be a bit different because I'm recording directly in front of my desktop using my webcam, and that is why the video quality isn't that good, but it gets the job done because today we want to talk about scammers instead. So I will need my desktop with OBS to capture everything that I'm seeing just to show you how to identify scams, how to avoid them, and also how to make good purchases since we can't go out and touch those stuff physically. So let's begin. So scams, it can happen anywhere, but today in particular we are only gonna talk about e-commerce scams, particularly both Lazada and Shopee, but all of the things that we're gonna talk about here today is also applicable for other e-commerce platforms like Amazon, whatever the new name 11th Street is, and also multiple different other e-commerce platforms maybe that's coming soon in the future. So let's begin. And all these kind of scams, for me personally, I have never experienced any e-commerce scams before because I've been very cautious throughout my purchases. But I have seen a lot of multiple different stories shared on Facebook and Twitter, all of those things. And knowing this, I did some articles previously, like a few years ago. So how this scam works is nothing new, I would say. We did two of these articles before, so this is the first article that I've done. And as you can see here, the header image is still using the very old Lazada interface. Lazmo was still new at the time, and this was published back in October 1st of 2018. It's been 3 years, but everything that is shown here is still relevant. So, okay, we will start off by first talking about the Poco F1, the Poco phone F1. This was a very fantastic phone, and at the time of launch it was at about 1,002 or 1,001 ringgit, I forgot, it's somewhere around there. But this scammer here is selling it for 900 ringgit, which is obviously too good to be true. It's a new device. If it's brand new, it's not gonna be this cheap. So we also documented the whole saga here. We'll leave links in the description below if you ever want to read it for yourself. But here's the scam story. Customer sees a very good deal, which obviously turns out to be too good to be true, and then customers wants them at a lower price. So this is the kind of, how do you say this? This is the kind of method that scammers entice people to make their purchase. If you ever read the questions about this product section, this is special for Lazada only. The one very big red flag for me is that if the seller wants to deal outside of Lazada, and to do that, they will leave their phone numbers in either this Q&A section or the product info section, and then here's what they will say: what color is available? All 8 colors are available. Reach me on WhatsApp for more info on how to get this phone at +60167 384178. If this kind of thing happens, and as you can see here, another major red flag is no COD, which means no, not Call of Duty. What's that again? No cash on delivery, which is a major red flag. That means they don't want to meet with you face to face to make the deal happen, but they want you to reach them through WhatsApp instead. So this is what happens if you PM them through WhatsApp. Here's a very nice summary of what's gonna happen. So they'll say item is available, we offer postage, blah 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 blah, all of those things, and then no COD, but we accept 50% deposit first, and then on the spot of delivery can balance up, as in pay the remaining 50% when the delivery person goes to your house. It's pretty simple. So as you can see here, this is a very sketchy WhatsApp thread, and I can say that the scammer is kind of stuttering to answer all of these questions. So they first answered in Batu. What Batu? Because there are a lot of Batu or whatever here in Malaysia. And then they say we don't have a working store here because they are from Europe, blah 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 blah. So this is another major red flag, and obviously this is a scammer. So this is yet another one of those scammer which we will identify right here. And as you can see, they will sell a brand new product, Galaxy Note 9, which at the time was like 3,000 something ringgit. I kind of forgot what's the price, and they're selling it only for 2,000. So again, reach me on WhatsApp and then they give you the phone number. This is a major red flag. That's all I can say. And that is major red flag number 1, because they will ask you to deal through WhatsApp, and then they will also tell you to make your payment through direct bank in. If you ever do that, then just say goodbye to your money. And then the second type of scam is to outright just send you a fake product. And this is the second article that we did about this kind of e-commerce scams. And this is published on March 30th of 2018. And as you can see here, the fake item that we got is this, a fake micro SD card. So it's actually very common if you head into Lazada or Shopee and then you just search for micro SD cards, sort it by price, and then you will see like 512 gigs micro SD cards for like 50 ringgit or so, which is obviously a scam because those micro SD cards at that capacity, if it's legit, it will cost about 500 ringgit easily. So yeah, this is obviously a scam. It's by Ziggy. I don't know what kind of brand is this, but obviously a fake. And then this is yet another type of scam, and usually scammers won't really have good English, so they will have a lot of typos, a lot of misinformation, and you can easily catch it. Like for example, this one by something called micro drive, and then they call it Carl Stan micro memory SD card. Yeah, another scam. So yeah, and unfortunately for this guy, which I saw on Facebook many years ago, he bought one of these fake micro SD cards. This is a fake Samsung Evo branded, and what happens is that even though they advertise it as 64 gigs of micro SD, and your phone, if you plug it into your phone, it will still detect at 64 gigs, but in truth, it is much less than 64 gigs. So what is happening is that even though your PC or your phone is detecting the correct capacity, the micro SD card itself doesn't have that much capacity. Then what happens is that when you start to write your data, at first it seems okay, but then when it gets to a certain threshold, it will start to overwrite your oldest data, hence the corrupted picture that you can see in this screenshot right here. It's a bit difficult to explain because it's very technical, but just know that this is a scam, and if it's too good to be true, then it is. And of course, this kind of scams is not exclusive to micro SD cards. I want to show you yet another one, which is this one. This is the Galaxy Buds Pro, and its original price is at about 699 ringgit if I'm not wrong. It's kind of around that price, and yet this seller is only selling it at 59.90 ringgit, originally at 200 ringgit. Wow, that's a good deal, right? And as you can see here, the images look kind of legit. I don't remember seeing these images in Samsung's website, but okay. As you can see here, the descriptions look kind of okay, kind of legit. The screenshots here, they do look a bit off to me, honestly, but I would still believe it if I didn't have the original Buds Pro with me right here. And how did I know that this is a fake product is by looking at some of the reviews, which is at the bottom here. Actually, you know, this is a very high effort fake product. The box looks very legit. This inside of the box here also looks believable, and then inside the box, when you open it up, everything looks kind of similar, right? I mean, if I didn't have the original Buds Pro with me right here, I would say that this looks very original. And then when we scroll down to the next page, how I knew that it's a fake is by looking at one of the review here, and one of the review here showed the picture underneath the Galaxy Buds Pro that they bought for such a low price. And as you can see here, the printing is completely different. I'll give you a high-res picture of this and then you can compare, which is what give it away. Yeah, this kind of high-effort fake product will scam a lot of people. So it's kind of unfortunate. And as a quick mention, I also want to highlight these kind of stores as well. They kind of disguise the item as the real one, but as you can see, the Galaxy S21 Ultra doesn't have this kind of ugly notch. The real Galaxy S21 Ultra only has this kind of cutout. So yeah. And the third type of scam is something like a switch and bait. So if you have a verified store on Lazada, you'll be called Lazmall. And then if you have a verified store on Shopee, you'll be under the Shopee Mall program. And then most of the sellers who are verified will put a tag called official store or something on their header image to be shown in the search engine. And as you can see here, this seller is called Red Dawn, but the image that they use is TP-Link official store. And in no way is TP-Link selling an AirBuds Pro. So this is again obviously another scam. And if you didn't pay attention to the seller, then I think a lot of people will also get scammed. So it's kind of disappointing to see all of these things. Yeah, some people actually bought it. And oh, this seller also has 2 more products. So we have more AirPods, but this one doesn't have the TP-Link official store. Instead, there's a Q. Not sure who this is. And then this one is back to TP-Link, but then they're using the AirPods. Okay, so after talking about all of those stuff, let's do a quick recap. The first type of scam is by asking you to deal outside of these e-commerce stores, which is to directly deal with them through WhatsApp and then bank in your money directly into their bank account and then say goodbye to your money. And then the second type of scam is to sell you fake products, which is, as mentioned, those fake micro SD cards, which unfortunately there are a ton of them, and yeah, the report function on these e-commerce stores just don't work, unfortunately. So we ourselves have to be vigilant about all of these things. As for the third type of scam is those kind of fake official stores. I know those Lazmall, Shopee Mall is supposed to curb all of these scammers, but unfortunately, scammers are ahead of all of these e-commerce stores. So once again, we have to be extra careful about our purchases. And then, how should we avoid all of these scams though? Luckily, I do have a few quick tips for you. So as mentioned earlier, they have a lot of typos. I don't know why their command in English is not that good. These kind of scammers always have typos, especially in their title or the product name or the product description, so keep an eye on all of those things. And then if these scammers ever ask you to deal outside of the e-commerce platforms, like for example, they ask you to PM them on WhatsApp, don't do it because it's obviously a scam. And thirdly, don't always believe the product listings review because those can be faked as well. So this is something that you yourself have to be vigilant once again. And tip number 4, always check what store that you're buying from. For example, like just now, even though they're using the TP-Link official store header image, but they're actually from a store called Red Dawn, and that's obviously not TP-Link, so that's yet another red flag. And tip number 5, if you are totally unsure if the product that you want to buy is from a legit seller or not, then just screw it, buy directly from Lazmall or Shopee Mall. Then those 2 platforms will guarantee you genuine products, so you don't have to go through all of these headaches. And finally, tip number 6, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. So there you have it. Those are all of the steps that I personally take when I buy stuff online, which again, I'm here just to do a quick recap to share with you. And do make sure that you don't get scammed when you do all of this online shopping, because we can't go out. And the only thing that we can do is to buy online. So we have to be vigilant about all of this stuff. So yeah, I hope you find a nice deal while shopping online, and please don't get scammed. I'll see you guys in the next video.